A warning, the following report from our political correspondent, Joe Pike, does contain some flash images.
The BBC's boss is locked in a standoff with its highest paid star.
Mr Davie, are you the man to sort out the crisis of the BBC?
Director General Tim Davie's made impartiality his central mission. But that effort to protect the corporation has left the organisation in crisis.
It is not impartial for the BBC to cave in to Tory MPs complaining about Gary Lineker. It's the opposite of impartial.
Whilst Labour are now siding with Mr Lineker, Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has told the Mail the remarks were offensive and it is deeply regrettable he hasn't apologised.
He's got a train to catch.
Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak, whose policy was initially being criticised, has avoided taking sides. He said in a statement, "Gary Lineker was a great footballer and is a talented presenter. I hope that the current situation between Gary Lineker and the BBC can be resolved in a timely manner, but it is rightly a matter for them, not the government." Commenting on government policy and comparing the rhetoric around it to 1930s Germany does seem to breach the BBC's editorial guidelines. But as a freelance presenter not working in news, should these rules even apply to Gary Lineker? The BBC's guidelines say, "There are others who are not journalists or involved in factual programming who nevertheless have an additional responsibility to the BBC because of their profile on the BBC. We expect these individuals to avoid taking sides on party political issues or political controversies and to take care when addressing public policy matters." Yet critics of the corporation argue the rules weren't applied fairly when Apprentice host Alan Sugar made comments about Jeremy Corbyn online or political interviewer Andrew Neil tweeted about Brexit. Add to that the controversy around BBC chairman and Tory donor Richard Sharp. He helped facilitate an £800,000 loan to Boris Johnson.
Why didn't you disclose it? Just to be clear, I didn't arrange the loan. I did at the meeting.
You helped with the loan.
And some argue he should now go.
I think if I'd been in his position, I'd have resigned immediately. But if he's not prepared to do that, then he should certainly be suspended while the inquiries go on. After all, Gary Lineker's being suspended while they work out what the policy on tweets should be.
This isn't the first time Gary Lineker's political comments have made headlines, and as the face of the corporation's sports coverage, that clearly concerns Tim Davie. But the Director General does have a difficult balancing act to try and pull off, leading an organisation which holds those in power to account whilst being reliant on the government to approve any future funding settlement. But the longer the standoff, the larger the damage to the reputation of the beleaguered BBC. Joe Pike, Sky News.